welcome to Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, Georgia, as we get you set and ready for the Peach Bowl, the college football playoff semifinal between IU and Oregon. A big, good old-fashioned Big Ten bash, right?
Everyone remembers these matchups.
From growing up and everything. No, but we just got a chance to hear from IU football players and offensive and defensive coordinators as well. These guys, I mean, it's broken record. They're locked in, Eli. What'd you glean?
Yeah, it's also, everything is just kind of the same. You know, we've been talking the last couple months about the same sorts of things, of being on a big stage, proving people wrong, being, you know, the underdog no matter what, even though they are the #1 team in the country. But it's always just been about them locking in and staying in the now, but also appreciating the now as well. They're one of 4 teams left. Not a lot of teams have this opportunity that awaits this weekend, starting, of course, with the Fiesta Bowl on Thursday with Miami and Ole Miss. But yeah, everything here, it's just the guys are well-spoken.
Yes.
They represent their programs very well.
Yes.
And you couldn't ask for a better team to represent Bloomington and IU heading into Friday night.
It's so easy, the coach speak of focus on the present, focus on the here and now, be where your feet are. I don't think I've ever seen a team epitomize that more
truly embrace
than the Indiana Hoosiers. It's really impressive. And like you said, really mature young men. Fernando Mendoza, it's impossible not to like him. If you don't like him, we don't like you. It's just that's just kind of what it is.
Everyone.
Fernando Mendoza, great guy. But they have a lot of respect for Oregon. They know that matchup in October, a 30-20 win, that kind of re-put them on the map, you know, over the course of these last 2 years, especially this season. They know that doesn't matter as much, right? It's a good data point, but the stakes are much higher. It's a much different stage.
I think what it's kind of, and you'll hear from the guys here shortly, but it's more of not like they all agreed that they are both completely different teams than when they were on October 11th.
Right.
But I think the biggest thing that you kind of hone in on as a player is you look at just some of the mistakes that you had personally in that type of game. And you're going to hear from Aiden Fisher. He explained it perfectly. It was focusing on what he did wrong and trying to improve those things more so than just focusing on what Oregon did or what Oregon could potentially do. And that's another thing Cignetti has talked about. It's like, worry about us.
Right.
Take care of our own business, and they've proven it 14 times this year that they come out on the winning end when they're able to do that.
Right, and you just said it right there. Not only just be where your feet are and stay in the present, but focus on you. Not what the opponent's doing well or not well, but what you're doing well or not well. And, you know, I've heard now nationally, too, people are starting to take notice that they just don't have many flaws.
Right.
Like we've hammered the trench game, and rightfully so. It's one of the strongest part of their football team. Fernando Mendoza said the offensive line, unsung heroes of this season. Pat Coogan in that Rose Bowl MVP, though. We love it. But they just don't do many things wrong, or they don't get penalized very much. They don't turn the football over. We're talking about the Heisman quarterback, like 3rd on the list. Like it's just crazy what they've been able to do, and that's why they're here.
Yeah, and it is, and it also just goes back to like the fundamentals of football. This is just the classic play fundamental football.
Yeah.
Don't
Easy,
don't shoot yourself in the foot, right? Just attack the day. Good turnover margin. As you mentioned, don't make mistakes, and good things happen. And here we are on the doorstep of a potential national championship.
Here we are indeed, Eli Gehn. We're getting you ready for the Peach Bowl, like we said. We heard from many players and offensive and defensive coordinator as well. Take a listen as IU gears up for Oregon here in the college football playoff semifinal.
What sticks out about Oregon's defense for you?
Oregon's defense, our D-line is playing incredible. We played them week 5, and at that point we were able to get the best of them, you know, entirely. However, they put up a great fight. They had a pick 6 on us, and you know, watching them against Texas Tech, a shutout in a college football playoff game is insane. So it's going to be a great challenge.
What's going to be the difference between this game and the first game?
I mean, the stakes are higher, and although the regular season was great and a great win for us in program history at that point in time, that game doesn't matter anymore. And so they're extremely motivated. They have a fantastic defense, talent around. They have draft picks, star-studded all around their defense. So I think it's going to be a great challenge for us to try to scheme against them and try to play our game.
Fernando, 2 wins away, win a national title. I know you're focused on this game here coming up this Friday, but how much do you appreciate this moment right now with yourself, obviously, and your teammates here as you get ready to take on Oregon?
Yeah, part of my process every single game is appreciating the moment and having gratitude to my Lord, Savior, Jesus Christ, and to my entire surrounding that I'm here in this moment. It allows myself to immerse myself and to play my best in this moment. However, looking ahead of the national championship, you see people fall in a pothole, whether it's teams talking about the national championship too early, and then they get tripped up and they get out of the college football playoff. Oregon's a fantastic team. They're a national championship caliber team, and I want to make sure that my focus is immersed in this moment right now at the Peach Bowl.
Fernando, a lot of people were shocked when Indiana beat Oregon, but to have that kind of moment already, how does that motivate you guys to kind of recapture that moment again?
Yeah, I would say that Oregon's a fantastic team. They're a national powerhouse. And although that we beat Oregon, it shows that we are still the underdogs. At that point, we were for sure the underdogs. They're ranked above us. However, we're trying to keep that underdog mentality going into this game. As we might be ranked higher than them now in the college football playoff seed, but it's a neutral site right now. It's a neutral site. They have fantastic talent on their team. Like I said before, draft picks, star-studded all across the board, offense, defense. And so we're really just trying to have that underdog and hungry and humble mentality.
Fernando, how have you been able to handle all of this, all the media attention? You go from the Big Ten title, obviously the Heisman Trophy. How have you been able to handle this personally?
Yeah, I would say the 26-day layoff, like the bye week, although it hurt a lot of teams, I would say personally helped myself a lot, as it gave me a break between the Big Ten championship, then the Heisman, and then all the way to Alabama. There was a lot of media attention during, especially after the Heisman. That was grateful. I can't thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ enough for that. That was a great honor and award for all of us as an IU football program and team. However, really stepping back and keeping to my process and keeping to my routine and not changing too much, and also not really having social media. I only have LinkedIn and YouTube on my phone right now. It's really helped put things in perspective and keep all the opinions of in-the-building opinions. So I'm not online reading, oh, Fernando's great, Fernando sucks. I'm listening to what my quarterback coach, Coach Chandler Whitmer, says and thinks, and what the quarterbacks in our room think. So that is where my focus is, and that's how I've been able to play my best football so far.
Fernando, Hoosier Nation, they showed up at the Rose Bowl. We know Atlanta's a lot closer to Indiana than California. Give me your thoughts, your expectation, your excitement for these IU fans showing up on Friday.
Yeah, the Hoosier Nation, they were a huge reason on why we beat Alabama. And the way we beat them is because it was a home game for us. I believe it was 80% Indiana fans, 20% Alabama fans, and having that home field advantage means so much to us as players. Is essentially having the 12th player on the field. And to have them show up not only meant so much off the field by disrupting the opponent, but it meant on the field with us and elevating our play. And to be able to have another opportunity to play in front of the Hoosier Nation, as myself having another opportunity to play, it's such an honor, and I can't thank Hoosier Nation enough for all the support.
Fernando, what do you think is the reason for the team? You guys put Alabama away, you came in with a couple of those wins this year. What do you think separates the team?
Yeah, I would say it's that fourth quarter mentality. You see a lot of teams try to adopt it by putting the fours up. That's something that we do. When the fourth quarter strikes, it's a different type of mentality of, hey, you really got to focus in. This college football is such small margins. And, playing such a great team, the Oregon Ducks, it's going to be a small margin game. And with that, you need to have extreme focus and intentionality, especially in the fourth quarter, because you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, and all those plays count so much more than maybe the first quarter, second quarter. Every play counts. You really want to make sure you have extreme intentionality to every single play.
This is the first time Fernando.
What do you think you guys learned from that trip? You guys go out here and say,
Yeah, so the Rose Bowl in California, longer trip for us, and we were there for an extra day. So there was a lot more. We had to actually do a real Thursday, red zone practice in Pasadena. So that was extremely interesting. However, this is a quicker turnaround, similar to many of our away trips. So I think that we've been able to learn how to compartmentalize it all. That although playing in the Rose Bowl and playing in the Peach Bowl are fantastic experiences, and you want to have gratitude and appreciate the moment, it's not time to go sightseeing. This is a business trip. This isn't like a normal bowl game. You're there for a week. You're hanging out with your friends. You're kind of going around the city. Obviously, we're still hanging out with our friends, but this is a business trip. This is a business trip, and we're here for one reason only, which is compete against Oregon.
Fernando.
Yeah, I could be here for hours talking about the process. However, I would say that having an intentional process. I wouldn't say so much of, superstitions that you're doing, crazy stuff here and there. But I would say more things that actually are going to be able to translate to your productivity and performance towards the game, and being very intentional with those. Such as, part of my process is, getting more than 8 hours of sleep a night. Sleep is so important, and there's so many different unsung heroes of my process, whether it's sleep, whether it's nutrition, whether it's film study, and I make sure to keep that a constant. And whenever I have my process, it's really a system. It's really a system that I follow, that I go and I really intricately do and make my system with my coach. When I'm able to do that system, that means, hey, I've done everything possible to prepare for this game. And so when I step on that field, I am confident, as I know that my preparation is unmatched, and I know that's the most that I could do, possibly. And so when I go on the field, I'm confident that my process has taken me here and that I can compete at the highest level.
You and Alberto both. What exactly is it?
Yeah, I would say there's, we like to joke around. We like to joke around, and it might not always be in such a, jokingly way. Like, for example, if I see Carter Smith, which he pushes so much weight, the guy's like he's so strong. If I see him, doing 350 on whatever, on squat, or 400 on squat, be like, hey, man, you can add 5 pounds on that. That looks light. And just, just like little jabs and jokes. I would say it's a really good culture where we all jab and joke at each other. It's like what good friends do. And so we have really, so we'll throw jabs at each other, and I think that's what he means by that.
Fernando, your offensive line has been getting a lot of love. How much of an impact can they make for you guys coming up on Friday?
I think the best thing that's happened to this team, especially after the Rose Bowl game, was Pat Coogan getting the Rose Bowl MVP. Thank you, Mr. Herbstreit, again for getting Pat Coogan the MVP, because it has jolted our offensive line and given them, they've really been the unsung heroes as our run game has set up everything in our pass game. And essentially, they're the only reason our offense is good. Just plain as it is. I can seem, all humble about it, but it truly is the truth. And having an offensive line, get that award and get that recognition and praise has helped us so much, as it's really helped them not only play as a unit, but it's also felt them feel appreciated, not just from inside the building, from outside the building. So I think it's been great for them, and I've been really happy to see it.
Fernando, this is the third time that you guys did that. First time in this building, how was you guys just guided? How about the city of Atlanta? Also being able to come on the stage, and this is another new stage.
Yeah, city of Atlanta is a very lively city. It's one of the great cities of the United States, and to be able to walk in, we just landed, but to be able to walk into this stadium, hear about the retractable roof, and just be able to see this monstrosity of a stadium. It doesn't even seem like a stadium. It seems like Disney World or something. So to be able to walk in here and be able to play here and see the Indiana and Oregon logo, I know it's going to be a great competition Friday night. Really looking forward to it.
Fernando, such a massive game coming up on Friday. What message will you send to your teammates here, knowing one is on the line?
Yeah, the thing is, for these type of games, if you need to motivate someone on the team, at that point, I don't know if they should be playing, because everyone understands how massive a game this is. It's massive for our careers, it's massive for the Indiana program, and it's massive for college football in general. Playing the national championship semifinal game is a huge honor and something you'll look back at when you're 6 years old or older. It's something that you've dreamed of when you're a kid. And so it's all about staying in the moment, staying in the play, and doing the best job and best competition that you can do every single each and play.
Fernando, it seems like whenever you're in a gotta have a situation towards the outside, number 13, how has Elijah Surratt impacted your game, and do you actively look for his number in these scenarios?
Yeah, Elijah Surratt, he's Waffle House. And he is, and that's his nickname. He's always open, and especially in those high pressure moments, you want a receiver and a target that you can rely on. And I think all our receivers done a fantastic job. For example, against Ohio State, Waffle House was there. Against Oregon, first time he was there. And then also against Penn State, Omar Cooper Jr. was also there. And then you see Charlie Becker and EJ Williams, through all those games, making really, high pressure catches. And so I think being able to elevate at those moments, when it's the fourth quarter, when it's fourth down, when the pressure's high and they usually bust pipes, those guys are collective. And it's such an honor to play with them as a quarterback. because it gives myself such freedom to play, as I know, hey, if I just put the ball in this guy's vicinity, he's going to catch it in these high pressure situations.
Fernando, I know that you say you're unplugged from social media, but there is the song Fernando by ABBA that's trending. I got to wonder, do you have any thoughts on NFL team fan bases that are singing that song, hoping you draft with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great song by ABBA. I've heard it, a little throughout my high school career, and then, early in my college career. It was kind of like a joke with all my friends. Then now it just accelerated to a whole nother level. So, I mean, I bet if ABBA was checking their phone, wow, this song's getting a lot of plays all of a sudden. So, I mean, it's great. I think it's, a funny, fan song, not like fan song, but a funny song that everybody could rally around, especially IU fandom. Yeah, I always just hear, whenever my brother, teammates on TikTok, sometimes I hear, in the background, it's a little bit of a trigger. So it's great.
When you rewind back to Dante's arm, do you have any interactions with him off the field or him at all? What you guys played in 2023? Talk about your journey kind of tracing it since then.
Yeah, Dante's a fantastic quarterback, and I don't know social media, but I hear from the outside in all the great things that are being said about him, especially his decision whether he's going to go to the NFL draft or come back. I mean, he's a fantastic quarterback. He is one of the best college quarterbacks for sure, no doubtedly this season. And I played him back in 2023, and to see both myself and him grow through his journey has been super special. He's a great guy. We played in 2023, the last Pac-12 after dark game. UCLA against Cal. At that point it was a great competition, and then fast forward, at that point it was the unranked game, which is, it was a great game. And then fast forward to this season, number 3 against number 5, Indiana against Oregon. To see us come from that point, UCLA and Cal, to Oregon, Indiana, and the biggest stage college game day that day. And then now the college football semifinal game, I think it's great to be able to, grow side by side through Dante. I haven't had much off the field interaction as, it just happens with the off season, and during the season it's not like, I'm sure he's a great guy, but it's not like I'm going to go fly out to Eugene and play Xbox with him or something. But, wish him the best, and really looking forward to seeing him on the field Friday. Oh, it's great. Oh, yeah, we did have police escort, and we heard that they landed, I believe, a minute before, a minute after us. I thought it was side by side. I did not realize they had to wait, and I apologize to them, I guess. That's kind of sucks. But yeah, hopefully they have a great session.
Omar, with this team, when you were in kind of those first off-season throwing sessions, spring practices, your first impression of Omar, so obviously you have built a really good rapport. I know he's played multiple positions in that receiver group this year. Just what were kind of the first thoughts you had when you started throwing to him and you started practicing with him and you realized maybe what he
Yeah, first when I got on campus, a big decision of myself going here is, hey, we're going to have a great offensive line, we're going to have a great defense, and we're going to have a fantastic receiving core. And throw with him without spring ball, and then our relationship developing through spring ball to fall camp to the season. I believe he's the leading receiver on our team, yards-wise. And to have that relationship with him, and him always be that constant Omar Cooper Jr. whenever you need him, whether it's Penn State or whether it's Alabama, I can always rely on him making a crazy catch and giving his full effort. So to have him not only as a receiver, but also as a teammate on the sidelines has been special for me. It's a little surreal, and a lot of people didn't think we're going to be at this moment, whether it's in May or August when the season was starting. However, being this moment is extremely surreal. Seeing this beautiful stadium in Mercedes-Benz is fantastic, and just can't wait to compete here. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, just my contact's out. Thank you. I would say I'll give you a couple. I'll give you 3. First, the state championship. We first won in 2019. First state championship in Christopher Columbus history. I was actually the backup quarterback and field goal holder that season. So, although I didn't get to play in that state championship game, it was still a fantastic memory. Number 2, I would say when Marcus Lemonis gave the school a huge donation. We got school the next day off. that was huge. I remember everybody going crazy about that, and I would say the third is just. I would just say my entire senior year has been so special. Whether it's been going to Brother Herb's and hanging out, whether it's been just the teacher, just the overall teacher to student interaction there, and the faculty to student interaction there is unmatched. And I always be a proud explorer for life.
I know you're in so much of the craziness right now, but does it ever reflect on you that these guys are on this big stage here playing college football?
Yeah, it seems like yesterday we were playing high school football together, and then now we're on this a much larger stage, the semifinal game, and it's great. It's been great for myself, and great for my family. It's been great for our entire support staff, the entire Mendoza kind of contingency. So it's been really special with him, and just really appreciate the moment with him because I don't think no brothers have ever done this on the same team, and to be able to have that moment with him is special and something I'll remember for the rest of my life. Yeah. For myself? Oh yeah, I'm just focused on playing for Oregon. I am not. Coach Cignetti's a great coach. He has his ways he goes about things, and to be quite honest, I'm not trolling Coach Cignetti. I want to step on that field on Friday. I am all good.
Fernando, you mentioned Pat winning MVP as a point of re-energizing this team. What is it about this team that always seems to find a new thing to get you guys fired up and keep you guys moving? Why has that become just such a
I would just say it's the way the coaches have built it, and also the players are built. I mean, a lot of the coaches, come from a smaller school all the way elevated to now this big stage. A lot of the players have been either outcasts or small recruits now on this big stage. I think there's like a stat that there's 0 5-stars on this team, and the 4-stars, I forgot what it was, but I know you could count them on your hands. So just having everybody go through tough times in adversity, I think that's what helps us so much in the fourth quarter, and I think it helps us band together, especially whenever it's a new challenge.
Yeah, a quick turnaround for us. Getting straight back into it. We knew, once we knew the matchup, we kind of tried to, flip it as fast as possible. I think our prep's been great this week. We took a lot of steps each day, and then when you look at, I know we've played this opponent before, completely different team, and I think we are too. So that's the way we're treating it. Completely new matchup. Not looking or dwelling on anything in the past, and the past matchup. We have to be on high alert for a lot of things with this offense, especially really talented, really special players. We're excited for the opportunity to get out there.
You mentioned two different teams, obviously, but has there been any just having that little bit of familiarity help out your preparation at all this week?
There have been some things you can kind of recall, just with different scheme things, us and them. But for me, I've tried to block it out. Assess it like it's a completely new team. My preparation has been like that. Just film study, taking notes. Everything is just redo everything. That way, if say I did miss something in the first game, okay, now I have it the second time. So just trying to take a completely new approach to it. That stays in the confines of how I study teams and break them down. I think I'm in a good spot right now.
In terms of also for you guys as a unit on defense, when you follow, you've done it before this year where you follow up dominating performances with another one. How confident are you to kind of keep that same focus that you guys have had and to go out and close your results?
Yeah, I think it starts with our preparation. From the day after we played Alabama until now, I think we've done a great job, flushing that last game, but taking the errors that we made and learning from them. Learning from that game, the things that we can carry over, and then looking at, their offense is extremely talented. Great O-line, tight ends, receivers, running backs, all extremely talented, and then a special quarterback that's leading them. So, we just learn a lot from our last experience, from Alabama, be ready to move on and, just keep assessing as we're doing right now.
Before the staff turned the focus to the game, they were obviously transfer recruiting. Did they have you guys post anybody over the weekend or kind of help out and make any pitches to guys when they're posting? I
know some guys would shoot a text or maybe visit dinner with the recruits, but all of our focus has been on Oregon. I think a text message has been the most I've done. All my attention and my focus is on Oregon and winning this game.
You mentioned Oregon is a different team. What specifically about them do you think has changed since October?
I mean, I think the longer you play in a season, the better you play. Just with your teammates, your scheme, you grow more comfortable with all those things. And I think they've done a great job evolving their offense. Their quarterback's playing at an extremely high level right now. I think he's gotten more comfortable in that system. And, that speaks a lot for a guy he's special since the first time we played him until now. I think their running backs have done a great job. They're all stepping up in different ways. And then obviously their receivers. They have a guy, I think is number 4, who has stepped up and kind of emerged as a star for them. He's going to be a problem for us to, kind of keep in front of us. He presents a lot of challenges, and that speaks for, all of their weapons. They do a great job of getting the ball to everybody, and they're all, explosive weapons when they do get the ball.
And your defense has traveled pretty much everywhere that you guys have gone, especially the rush defense. What do you guys feel like has made that pass or that rushing defense so successful this season?
We just play free. We let our D-line play free, and our linebackers will, fit off of them. Then our safeties and corners will fit off of us. But it's all about playing fast, and you can't do that when you're thinking too much. You have things that how do I get this done? Is there only one way I can do it? It's just not how we operate. And for us, it's you have a job description, but you can get there in a multitude of ways. I think that's what makes us so good. Especially against the run, just having that confidence that you can get the job done by doing a bunch of different ways. It's like having the weaponry to do it, and you kind of just pick your different weapon for that down. We'll fit off, we'll play off, and I think we've done a great job meshing off of each other, just being effective, especially in the run.
Coaches always talk preach not being complacent. How do you balance that, just focusing on Oregon, but realizing you're a game away from the national championship?
That's not even in our mind right now. Right now it's all about Oregon. I don't think anybody could tell you where the national championship is right now. It's all about being in Atlanta, playing in this game, taking advantage of the opportunity. And I think we've done a great job all year. One thing that we get a lot of slack for is not being able to appreciate the moment. But I think that's what makes us so driven and motivated is we just want to be in the now. I think we're doing a great job with that, and it's all about this game and all about Oregon right now. Yeah, well, first it's going to be hard against the quarterback. It's as talented as he is. He's smart. He sees the field extremely well. But, we're going to have to switch up a lot of things. We're going to have to present different challenges for him. He's a great player that is going to cause a lot of, problems for us and challenges. But we're excited for it. As a defense, this is where we can take a step and grow a little bit more. It's going to be on all 11 guys to do that, and we're excited for it.
All season long, this linebacker has gotten praised for being in the right place at the right time. How much of that is game-created scheme, and how much of it goes into having a good feel for it?
Yeah, I think in this defense you have to have great instincts. You have to have a great feel for football in general. And I think we have guys that do that from, our starting linebackers to the guys that are developing right now. I think everybody has a great feel for it. Obviously the scheme is, unreal, and, the job that Coach Haynes does is, second to none. So when you get good football players that are instinctual and have a good feel for the game and combine it with Coach Haynes, you get the product that we put on the field. Like you said, our linebackers have just emerged week in and week out. They've done a great job. Isaiah Jones, Elijah Hardy, Caden Turner, Jeff Utzinger, they've all just stepped up every single time, their number's called. We're going to keep doing that, and, I'm extremely proud of, our room, especially the development, the growth that we've seen this year, and just knowing that we have guys that can go in at any time in the game and step up and make plays.
Talk about being in the now. How does it feel to be in the now in the college football semifinals?
It feels good. It's an opportunity that I think a lot of people wish they were in. I told the team on, a day, I think Sunday, there's 4 teams left. Everybody in the country wants to be in your shoes. They want to be in your cleats, your pads. They want to be practicing today. So you have to take advantage of that. We can't have a day where, we're feeling good about ourselves and, look where we are. There are a lot of guys that aren't here. And, if you kind of take it for granted, you'll be right in their shoes. If you're not on, the high execution, all the little details that go into it. So it has to be a good balance of, embracing the moment, but you have to be taking advantage of the opportunity that's placed in front of you.
Looking back at it, this is my first time in my career ever going against somebody twice in one season. But I would say it'll be an adjustment, but people see stuff on film, so it's not like anybody didn't see anything on film, so what's coming, so it don't matter.
How much of playing quarterback is that mental side of it compared to the physical side?
I would say they go hand in hand. They're both tough, especially playing the cornerback position. I feel like you got to be mentally tough and physically, you got to be physically gifted as well. But I would say they go hand in hand playing the cornerback position.
Kind of speaking of that mental and physical toughness, you guys obviously went all the way across the country to the West Coast, back in and now down here south. What's that been like dealing with and kind of adjusting with this week to make sure you guys feel like you're mentally and physically ready for this game?
It's been a challenge, but we have great coaches that put us in the right schedule and stuff like that. I would say you definitely have to be physically tough coming back from a quick turnaround compared to 3 weeks we had to prepare for Alabama, I would say. But it was a quick turnaround for us. But we definitely had the right mindset with all our veteran guys, I would say, and we're prepared as I said so.
You talked about watching some of that film on the plane. I'm assuming you've watched obviously plenty of film this week. What have you guys kind of seen from Oregon's offense? Have you noticed any changes, any tweaks, and how have you guys kind of adjusted throughout this week? What do you think is going to be different?
I would say, I watched a lot of film on Oregon, especially since we played them. They have made a little bit of adjustments with their protection and things like that. I would say they still have great receivers, great quarterback, and stuff like that. But I would say the main difference is their protection, and the receivers haven't changed. Honestly, no. Unless they talk to me, then I might have something to say back. But I'm not going to talk to them first.
Does that happen often?
No. Nah, I don't think. I think one of them said something to me, but I really didn't hear them. But other than that, no.
D'Angelo, you mentioned there was, I think, something in the Alabama game that made it a little more spicy. What was it? Something that was read, that was said, bulletin board material?
Yeah, it was something that was sent to me. I kind of just laughed it off. I know me as a player and stuff like that, but it definitely was something just to prove somebody wrong when I got the opportunity. That's always been me, but it definitely was just something just to laugh at.
You spent your entire career, it seems like, proving people wrong, and it seemed like you'd think that they'd be finally wising up to that, but you seem to relish in every one of those opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something I've been doing all my life, proving people wrong. People always seem to doubt me, no matter what I do. So it's at this point, it's not like proving people wrong. It's proving myself right, and in the process of doing that, proving people wrong.
Is this team still having to prove people wrong, even though they're in the final stages of this tournament?
Yeah, we're always going to have doubters, I feel like. After Bama, we still were hearing we didn't play anybody and things like that. So we just keep going and try to go 1-0 each week and not let the outside noise get to us.
I want to ask about Omar. I imagine you see him some in practice. You've gone against him the last couple of years. You've watched the way he's maybe developed the receiver the last couple of years. From a corner's perspective, what are the strengths he brings to the receiver position, and maybe how have you seen him kind of grow into maybe some of those strengths over the last 2 years? Omar Cooper.
Yeah, definitely seeing Coop take a big step since I first got here. I would say what makes him special, I would say just his route running, his savviness. I would say a lot of guys can't move like that. Cool. He has like a special move. I don't want to say it, but he got like a special move, and it works all the time. I've seen it working in the real time in the game. But I would say just his savviness, it's different. A lot of receivers can't move how he does, and I would say the things I've seen him grow on is his strength. Actually, like a lot of teams, they'll try to get hands on him and things like that. He gets and moves DBs off their platform. So I would say that's something I've seen him grow on.
Has he ever dropped that move on you?
I've seen it, yes. Since I know his move is coming, it doesn't really work on me, but it has worked on me before.
Angelo, everyone talks, like this entire team talks about being in the now. What's it feel like to be in the now, being in this moment in Atlanta here this week?
It feels great just to have this opportunity. I feel like a lot of people want to be in this position, so it's living in the now is just taking it all in and knowing, but we have a football game to play and taking advantage of the opportunity.
How's the last week of practice been like? Obviously for Alabama, you had 25 days. Now you only have 7 days. Just how do you balance rest and recovery, but also having a game just a week later?
I would say treat it as a regular week. Like you said, we had a lot of time off those 3 weeks, but now we're back into regular season form. I would say definitely tone up the recovery a little bit because we had a quick turnaround. But I would say that's the only difference. We're preparing the same.
That we make and urgency to ultimately get it right. So I think that's a huge part of our success is because we've never been complacent in how we've gone about our business. We've always known that there's many things we need to improve on, and just as an offensive line, it's a journey. Like, it's a growth. You got to keep moving forward, keep getting better, because if you stop, you're just getting worse. So I think that's what we've done a really great job of.
What are some of the pros and cons of going against pass rushers that you've already faced this season?
Well, I think the pros are that you kind of know how they feel. You know, like, how they feel strength-wise and size-wise. You know how, like, a bull rush is going to feel. You know how, maybe how long one guy is or something like that. But at the same time, on the flip side, they know what you did, right? Like, they know how strong I am or how long I am. They know how to counter off me now. So it's going to be a battle, and it's a huge challenge for us, and one that we got to be ready for and are ready for sure.
Is that something you tell you guys
I believe this is my first time, yeah.
Are you excited for that challenge to kind of have a second opportunity for that for these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I think even if we didn't play them, like, it's a huge challenge for us, and it's an exciting challenge for us because of how great they are, and it's another test of our mettle, kind of, So it's a great challenge, but one that we're excited for and one that we've prepared for, and at the end of the day, you got to go put it out in between the white lines, though.
Okay, Pat, some fun questions for you. Favorite pregame meal?
I eat the same thing for a pregame meal. What they serve us, it's like lasagna, like a steak medallion, some dinner rolls.
Most underrated place to eat in Bloomington?
Oh, underrated. My favorite place is Los Zagreb's steak place.
Best Coach Signetti impression?
He walks into probably every team meeting and just starts it with, "All right."
Favorite pregame hype song?
Oh man, I have plenty. There's not a specific one. I bounce between, like, country, where I kind of just want to be mellow and chill, and then I go off to rap or, rock or something like that. So I vary.
Best part about playing football for IU?
The team, the teammates, the brotherhood, the locker room. It's the team, for sure.
Thank you, Pat.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, what do you think goes into being a good fourth quarter team? You guys have either closed down teams or kind of moved away from teams together. What do you think goes into
I believe it's the mindset that Coach Sig has instilled in us from day one. It's the mindset that our strength coach, Coach Owings, has instilled in us, throughout the offseason, through the summer, through fall camp. Some of our hardest periods of fall camp were the last period. We'd always do a 2-minute drill, a 4-minute drill, a 1-minute drill, kind of to end practice. So I think that has paid off, just preparing us for the moments, preparing us to really strain at the end. But yeah, it really just starts with mindset.
I'm sure you were impressed with a bunch of teams that you played this year. What did Oregon do that stuck out to you? Because obviously, I'm sure when you played them there, you thought that this could probably be a possibility given how good they were and just how you guys matched.
Yeah, I mean, just a dominant defensive force, really. Their front seven is loaded. Their front four is probably one or two best in college football. It all starts up front for them. It's strong, long, fast, violent. It's going to be a huge challenge for us, no doubt.
Is it easy for you to put all the glitz and glamour, bowl game, national semifinal aside, and focus on the game? Because I'm sure for a lot of people, they might think that's different. For a guy who's just been in it for so long and maybe been here for a while, is that an easy thing to just ignore and focus on the game?
It's certainly easier, and I'm grateful for that because I don't, it's part of the business and part of the sport, but I don't necessarily love it. I'm an O lineman at the end of the day. But no, it certainly is easier, just because, I've been there, kind of like you said. But the atmospheres and the moment and everything, I try and take it in, take a deep breath, kind of soak it in for a second, and then it's just going back to playing ball.
What was this moment like for you?
Unique. This is my third time playing here. Obviously, last year didn't end on the greatest note here, but it's another opportunity, and I'm just grateful to be here. Grateful to be here with my team and my teammates and coaching staff, and we have just an unbelievable opportunity on our hands, and we got to go seize the opportunity for sure.
How much you looking for?
Riley Leonard got his first start in the NFL.
I texted him a couple times. I texted him the day after our game because I found out he was starting, just like wishing him luck and so happy for him. And then I texted him a couple days ago after he balled out, and I'm just so happy for him. He's such a great guy, and we got really close last year, and I was just proud of him. Like just watching the TV in the training room, smiling, like hyping him up. It was awesome.
Like coming off of last year, when you assessed the run game, where did you feel like you had to grow the most, and like what went into what's obviously transpired this year?
Yeah. Well, obviously, adding Pat Coogan and some of the other guys up front have helped. That was one piece of it. The other piece, I feel like, at times, just being able to create movement, playing on their side of the line of scrimmage, and now looking back, guys like Bray Lynch and Drew Evans and Carter, they're all a year older. They're all more confident. They're all stronger. And they've done a really good job. It's just things that we've done fundamentally since day one. And Coach Bostad and ourselves, I mean, we're always going to try to do what we do the best, stick to who we are, instead of maybe seeing what hurt that team that we're playing on film and major in that. But I don't think that there's not really a real sexy answer about it. I just feel like everybody's better, everybody's playing better, everybody's playing more confident. From my standpoint, I'm pretty. I try to be slow to abandon the run. I want to make sure we stick with it, even though if we're gaining 2-3 yards. Knowing that we have to do that to keep the quarterback clean and keep those guys going up front.
Adding as many new pieces to the line as you have, how it's come together, what's been your reaction to that? Because it is a new look group. So.
Yeah, I feel like those guys have had great chemistry since day one. And I'll just take a guy like Pat, for instance. He got here coming off the year that he had, didn't miss a single practice. Has been a leader to not only the offensive line but the offense and the team as a whole. And I feel like they got really good camaraderie in there. Coach Bostad does a really good job of getting those guys ready to play. And I feel like they're truly 5 guys working as one. They're always in unison, always in on the same page, and good communication.
As you studied Oregon's defensive front in the last game, what stood out just about how they attacked, obviously, a line and an offense that had been performing at a really high level?
Yeah. I mean, they changed it up with some of their games inside and mixing that up with just straight launching, trying to get up the field, creating penetration, letting those guys kind of pin their ears back and go play ball. So they keep you kind of off balance with that. I would say the other thing is, I thought our O-line held up pretty well in protection. We gave up 1 sack. There was a few other times Fernando was pressured. I feel like the crowd noise played a factor in that as well at the times. But overall, I felt like we competed our butts off, and obviously there's some matchup things that we'll keep an eye on, just because they had so much talent across the board. But yeah, I mean, I feel like our guys were ready to go. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely see them playing with great technique, especially at corner. 7 and 4. Those guys are doing a really good job for them. I feel like they're really confident playing at the line of scrimmage, whereas maybe early in the year they would open up and run with a receiver. They're staying square, trying to make receivers go sideways. They're doing a really good job with that. And then Flowers, the other one in the back end. I mean, that kid really flies around and it's physical. You could tell him and Thinneman are on the same page on the back end, and they do a good job They do a good job when the ball's in the air. Quarterbacks looking one way, you can see everybody in that back end start rolling that way, and they fly the ball and are able to make plays down the field. Yeah, a lot of good offenses, a lot of good players, really good coaches. So it's always good. It's good to watch other teams as we're leading up to play a game, and these guys are no different. We got a lot of respect for not only their defense but what they've been able to do on offense as well. Not that I remember. I take that back. My first job with Coach Signetti at IUP, we played Cal University over there in PA twice, once in the regular season and then again in the playoffs. So a little bit like that.
The opportunity to say these two teams have grown, but at very least I know the personnel. We prepared for them once. Like, are there advantages, I guess, in that for both sides?
I think so. I mean, I feel like I know my personnel well. I'm sure Coach Stein feels like he knows his personnel well. He got a taste of how the matchups play out for him. I got a taste of how those matchups play out for me. So maybe he's found some new holes that he's going to try to exploit. Maybe I did too. It'll be a fun one.
Coach, in your last meeting with Oregon, you guys got after Dante Moore 6 times. I'm assuming that you know that they're going to change that scheme to prevent that. How are you planning to switch that up a little bit to have as much success in your pass rush?
Not going to blitz him. All drop 8s.
When you look at this game, sorry if this has already been asked, do you look at the game that you guys played? I was talking to Pat, and they said that they watch it a little bit and they go back to the last game. What do you do as a coach? Do you watch the Washington game, the Texas Tech game, or do you go back and watch it with your team?
Yes, I watch those games. I watch all of them. I think there's things that you can take away from each game, and there's things that are irrelevant now. For instance, we don't have Stephen Daly anymore. So maybe in a plan to get him isolated on this person, that's not existent anymore. So there's definitely some wasted time in there. But you watch the games, you try to work on tendencies, and at the end of the day, we're gonna have 11 guys on the field. I just want to put those guys in a great position to be successful. So it's kind of a new game plan.
What does it say about the team to just be so stout defensively, but also no penalties in the last game against Alabama? I don't think there's any against Ohio State either. What's it say about the discipline?
Yeah, I think it speaks to the fact that we play the game the right way, which is really physical, really fast, really confident, and really clean. Absolutely.
I was asking Aiden this, but saying that does he pick up on in-game opposing centers just getting the mic ID completely, and how much joy he takes when you look back at film? Do you track that internally? Like, are you be like, yeah, okay, we have these guys on skates and they have no idea. And like, is there a threshold at which you go like, oh wait, they might actually be picking up on what we're doing, or do you literally track that internally?
We track it even within the game. That's the beauty of these iPads now. I get to get over there in between series, and I'm like, what did he say right here? It's like, oh, that's what he said, huh? Okay. I wonder if I can give him that exact same picture and walk him into something. So we track it throughout the season. We track it with each opponent. We track it in game. But that takes a very smart operation. And credit to Aiden. I mean, those are the types of things you're talking about with a kid like that. I mean, he's breaking down protections. He knows who's blocking who, and now you can attack.
So what else is there to be said? A locked-in bunch. They're ready to rock. They know that Oregon's a really good team, clicking at the right time. I mean, you don't get here if you're not.
For sure.
You know, it goes without saying, but they truly are. Oregon's a very good football team. They're looking good, but so do the Indiana Hoosiers. And I'm looking forward to this one.
It's going to be great. I think we've talked about it several times. Whoever we think wins this is week-to-week league, but you never know. Right. But it's like whoever wins this game could be the favorite to win the national championship.
Absolutely.
IU already is right now. And on Thursday, we're going to hear from the head coaches with their dual press conference, Coach Signetti and Coach Lanning. And, yeah, round 2.
Man.
Tail of the tape. Bring it up.
It's going to be a lot.
Classic Big Ten clash.
I mean, this is what I remember from 2006. Anyway, great fun here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. World-class stadium. My goodness, this is an awesome place. But we're going to bring you all the coverage. Like Eli said, be sure to keep it locked on Channel 13 and on WTHR Plus because we will have that joint head coach presser for you. Kurt Cignetti, always a great soundbite, so you're going to want to tune into that, and we'll have all your coverage leading up to and after the Peach Bowl as well here from Atlanta. So college football playoff semifinal time. We'll see if IU can punch its ticket to the national championship. That's what it's all about. See you next time.